Imagine a 30-second travel reel that wins a prize, racks up 1 million views, and in its caption renames a sacred ritual as a dance for likes. The clip spreads, reporters pick it up, and the ritual's real name and custodial story disappear. This is not fiction, it's prize-driven storytelling, and today we unpack how it happens, why it matters, and what communities can do about it.
Welcome to NSP Plus TV, Cambodia's voice to the world. I'm Nisa, and with Port, we'll walk through prize capture, the ways awards and contests can unintentionally encourage cultural extraction, and the practical, safety-first steps to respond.
Quick safety note before we begin. We use anonymized reconstructions in this episode. We won't name organizers or jurors without legal review. If you plan to share materials with us, follow a strict redaction checklist. No unredacted IDs, bank details, or private contacts. Subscribe to NSP Plus TV so we can coordinate vetted follow-up and share templates securely.
Here's what we'll cover. First, the mechanics behind prize incentives. Then, 3 anonymized case studies that show different extraction patterns. After that, a short forensics primer, what artifacts to archive safely, and an expert clinic with model correction language. Finally, a community playbook you can use today.
Let's break this down clearly. Contests and awards are powerful signals. Judges reward what they see in submissions, engaging footage, striking thumbnails, simple captions. When reach, sensational moments, or novelty score higher than provenance, consent, or context, creators learn very quickly which content wins. Prize mechanics, the judging criteria, the terms and conditions, and the cash or gift incentives shape behavior at scale, often without anyone intending harm.
And it matters for Cambodia because rituals, temple custodianship, and naming carry deep meaning. A caption that renames a ritual or a competition that erases GPS metadata doesn't just misinform tourists. It obscures custodial relationships, disrespects elders, and can weaken protections for sites that rely on local stewardship.
Case Study 1. The Viral Reel Prize. We reconstructed a timeline using public winner pages, archived snapshots, and social posts. A short reel showed a masked procession at a provincial ceremony. The caption in the prize submission simplified the ritual to mystical market dance, catchy but wrong. The contest's judging rubric emphasized shareability and audience engagement over context or source verification. Once the prize announcement amplified the caption, multiple travel accounts copied the simplified label, and the ritual's real name receded in search results.
What we found next is important. The organizers promoted winners with short blurbs and a single short-line caption pulled from submissions. No curator note, no source attribution. And because the reel was short, there was no space for custodial credits or a link to a community page. That combination, judging for engagement, promotion with a short caption, is a design flaw when it comes to cultural accuracy.
Listeners might ask, did someone intentionally rename the ritual to score views? In most cases, no. Creators adapt to incentives. When engagement is rewarded, creators simplify. The problem becomes structural. Contests that prize reach will reward flatter representations of culture.
Case Study 2, the Photo Award Metadata Loss. This one illustrates how submission rules can encourage erasure. An award requested image files in a compressed zip with a 1-page entry form. Their terms asked submitters to confirm that uploaded files contain no private data and recommended stripping metadata for file size and privacy reasons. But the unintended consequence, location tags, creator credits, and camera notes, which often include place names and the photographer's custodial connection, were removed before judging. Without metadata, jurors saw a beautiful image but lost the provenance trail that links content to local custodians.
Right. Metadata is more than technical noise. It can show who took the image, where it was taken, and sometimes a timestamp that corroborates a ritual or festival. Once that breadcrumb is gone, a market develops where images become fungible and easier to reassign or repurpose without permission.
In this case, several prize-winning images were licensed by third-party travel editors who then used generalized captions like local ceremony or ancient ritual, rather than naming the custodians or the temple. That flattening makes it harder for communities to claim their cultural property or to be consulted about uses of their images.
Case Study 3. The Festival Influencer Prize. Here, a festival ran a Best Influencer Award that paid travel stipends and backstage access in exchange for short-form content. Some creators staged moments, condensing several ritual elements into a montage for narrative clarity, which changed visitor expectations. A viewer who later booked a trip expecting what they'd seen found a very different, less intimate experience. That mismatch can damage the festival's reputation and, more importantly, strain relationships between custodians and visitors.
We need to be careful here. Influencers are not all bad actors. Many want to highlight culture respectfully. But when payment and prize mechanics center-staged access and thumbnails over custodial consent, even well-intentioned creators can end up performing extraction.
So what can custodians, festival organizers, and concerned creators do? First, archive redaction-safe prize pages and submission evidence. That means saving winner pages, submission PDFs, judging rubrics, payment receipts, but only in a way that removes private personal data. Use a redaction checklist. Remove bank account numbers, personal IDs, emails, and phone numbers before sharing. Keep timestamps, public page URLs, and anonymized screenshots that show captions and rubrics.
Second, send evidence-based correction requests. Start politely. Use a simple template. Identify the public claim, provide archived evidence showing the correct name or provenance, request a caption update or an editor's note, and offer to connect the organizer with custodians for context. Most platforms respond to calm, documented requests, and that mediation-first route reduces the risk of harassment against small creators.
Third, push for community-centered contest rules. Advocate for mandatory provenance fields in submission forms, opt-in consent checkboxes for featured communities, and judging rubrics that weight attribution and context. Small rule changes, like requiring a 100-word custodial description or a link to a community page, can shift incentives towards respectful storytelling.
Now, a short forensics primer. What public artifacts are safe and useful to archive? Winner announcement pages with captions, cached web snapshots, submission screenshots with redacted personal info, the competition's terms and judging criteria page, and public social shares. What never to publish: unredacted personal IDs, bank or payment details, private messages that include sensitive contact information. Use secure intake channels and a redaction checklist before you hand anything to journalists or researchers.
We spoke with a platform policy researcher, a cultural rights lawyer, and a festival organizer, anonymized for this episode. Their shared advice: start with polite correction, document publicly available signals, escalate only when necessary, and prioritize community safety. The lawyer emphasized legal vetting before naming organizations. The researcher suggested preserving machine-readable evidence like JSON or cached HTML so platforms can trace modifications. And the organizer proposed small prize rule pilots that reward provenance.
We also worked with partners to draft 3 short templates you can use. 1, an archivist template for saving and redacting materials. 2, a calm correction request to organizers and publishers. And 3, a juror query that asks how the prize prioritized context in judging. If you subscribe to NSP Plus TV, we'll share those templates in a secure follow-up, redaction guidance included.
Community Playbook. Quick checklist you can act on this week. 1. Archive the public prize page and submission receipt, redacting anything private. 2. Send the templated correction request to the contest organizer and the platform hosting the content. 3. Ask local festivals to pilot context-weighted judging criteria and a custodial credit requirement. These are low-risk, high-impact steps.
We received a tip from a listener. An entry page for a travel award had a winner's caption that mismatched the temple name locals use. They asked how to submit evidence safely. Here's how. Archive the winner page URL with a public web archive tool. Take a screenshot of the caption. Redact any personal emails from submission receipts, and send everything via a secure intake form or encrypted email address that we list on our subscribe page. We'll vet it before any public reporting.
A few practical red flags to watch for when evaluating whether a prize may have encouraged extraction: judging rubrics that prioritize audience engagement over provenance, submission rules that encourage metadata stripping, prize payments tied to curated backstage access, and promotional packages that reframe captions without curator notes. If you see those, archive and document, and then use a correction request.
We know there are risks in raising these issues. Publicly naming organizers or jurors without legal vetting can prompt takedowns or threats. Asking listeners to send submission materials can expose personal data. Correction campaigns can unintentionally mobilize harassment. Our approach is designed to be safety first, anonymize reconstructions, require redaction and secure intake, and emphasize mediation and correction before public naming.
Before we close, let's restate the core message. Prizes signal reward. When contests reward reach over context, cultures lose their custodial voice in the process. But small design changes, careful archiving, and calm correction requests can protect communities and restore accuracy.
If you are a temple custodian, festival organizer, or a community photographer, and you want help with redaction-friendly archiving or a template correction letter, subscribe to NSP Plus TV and send us a secure tip. We will coordinate vetted follow-up and share model templates with partners who can help implement community-first contest rules.
Thank you for listening. This is your trusted voice from Cambodia. We'll keep unpacking the systems that shape how Khmer culture appears online and how communities can protect their heritage. The facts are clear. The evidence is undeniable. Stand with Cambodia.
Take care and join us next time for more practical tools to protect Khmer heritage and to hold systems of attention accountable. Subscribe so you don't miss the templates and secure intake instructions we mentioned.